Well, hello and good evening to everyone out there in YouTube land watching. Hopefully this stream is not terrible. I've been trying to bust my butt to try to make this thing not terrible for the last hour here. We've been testing it and having some issues and problems. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it holds up good. If not, I'm sorry. I apologize. We're going to work on it as much as we can in the next few weeks to get it up and running and as good as possible. So, anyway, hey, thanks for being here tonight. If you are new or it's your first time, you're like, what is up? I'm not even sure what's going on. This is our high school ministry. This is Centerpoint Christian Church. Well, this is my house, but we represent Centerpoint Christian Church and our Centerpoint student ministry. So we are so glad that you guys are here. If you don't know me, my name is Logan, and I am the student pastor here. And so just pumped to be hanging out with you guys tonight. What up to everybody in the chat? I'm kind of watching. Again, it's like 25-ish seconds behind, so I don't see you say anything, and that's why I don't respond, because there's a delay, so I'm really sorry about that. So if that's a weird, awkward moment for us, we're all in it together, so it is what it is. But I hope you guys are having a great night. Hope quarantine is going as good as it can for you, I guess. It's kind of wild around here, with Leah and I both working all the time, and the boys here, we're constantly trying to do 1,000 things at once. So it's pretty stressful, but all in all, things are good. I'm thankful to be alive and well and good, and I hope you guys are as well. So tonight hopefully it's going to be a good night. We're going to be finishing up our series called The Storyteller. We're going to play a game before that, and we're going to try worship back again one more time. So we're going to see what we got there on worship. Colton's got a song for you guys tonight, so hopefully we will enjoy that as well. That's going to be tonight after I talk, and then we're going to send you guys off to small groups. So if you're new, you don't have a small group, or you've never connected in a small group, make sure you say what's up in the chat to somebody. Say hello. Say, hey, I'm new. I don't have a small group. I don't know what this looks like. Colton and Micah are both in the chat, and they will get you linked up with a small group leader. If you don't know, Colton is our student worship pastor, and Micah is our student ministry intern, and whenever anything goes wrong, we just blame him. So if the stream messes up, just blame Micah. It's definitely my fault, but totally blame Micah, because why not, right? So anyway, before we get going any further, I have a quick video I want to show you. I showed this to our middle schoolers this morning. I want to show it to you guys as well, because, sometimes this happens. Sometimes you guys make some lame excuses for not showing up to youth group. So here are some of those lame excuses that you guys have for not showing up.
All right, I think we're live. All right. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to Youth Group Online. This is a big deal. We've never done this before, so stay tuned. Don't click away.
Yeah, no. I couldn't get a ride. I was sanitizing the toilet. I left my computer at home. Wait. No. I left it somewhere else. I was doing homework. My dog died. Play dead. Yeah, my mom still doesn't like the youth pastor. Oh wait, you are the youth pastor. My bad. I ate too many Flintstone Vites. You didn't say it was online. I couldn't figure out the Zoom. I got out of school late. Yeah, sorry, dude. Wi-Fi is slow. My dad was trying to stream the NBA game. Wait, there's no sports? I didn't say NBA. I said he was watching Space Jam. Yeah, I'm fasting from social media on Wednesdays. I don't like how I look on camera. Yeah, I was dropping some volume. Yeah, my phone is broke. Yeah, I don't know anybody there. Yeah, my mom was on there. I didn't want to be on there too. Oh, Becky's gonna be on? Yeah, I'll totally be on. Oh, Jennifer's gonna be on there too? That's a no-go, dude. Yeah, my mom was freaking out. She thought I was sick, so instead of giving me Dayquil, she gave me NyQuil and just fell asleep. I was too busy reading the Bible. I can't focus on my phone for that long. Oh, I thought you meant 6 a.m. Yeah, I was walking my cat. I don't have a cat. Yeah, dude, I got a major case of the farts. I was just too busy, man. Yeah, my phone's on 20%, so... Yeah, I didn't want to put a shirt on. I was zooming with another youth group. Yeah, the better one. The one with Becky. No, yeah, I didn't get any emails. No. Yeah, I promise. I didn't get any emails.
Perfect.
Yeah, Mom. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, I took the garbage out. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 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 No, I didn't throw my phone in the dirt. No, I dropped it. Yes, I learned my lesson. Yes, I'm quarantined, Mom. Yeah, I'm inside. Yeah, I promise. Yeah, you can see me? No, I just walked out to get something.
All right. Well, there you go. You have it. There are some excuses. Some of you guys have probably used those before. I know that because I've heard them because I've asked you where you've been. So, just saying, those are some good quarantine excuses for you too. But don't use them. All right. We are gonna play a game today. As always, this is an interactive game. I want you to be a part of this. I want you to answer in the chat. Obviously, I'll kind of give you a little time on the lag because, like I said, I don't see you guys answer right away. Also, if you hear crying in the background, those are my babies. They're getting ready to go to bed here soon, and my wife is a hero for having to deal with them by herself right now. So, if you hear them, that's what it is, and they're great. They're just hungry and sleepy. So, they may make an appearance. Who even knows? But all right, we're gonna play a game. And I'm pretty excited about this one, actually. And I'm not going to lie, it's kind of difficult. It's called So You Think You Can Homeschool. Now that you guys are all actually homeschooled, pretty much, we're going to ask you some trivia questions, some homeschool questions. They're not really homeschool questions. They're mostly just things that you learn in school. And to be honest with you, I started reading some of these questions, and I got a lot of them wrong. But I'm not super smart. So that could be it. So, yeah, let's play. I'm pretty excited about this. So you think you can homeschool? All right. Super simple. Here we go. First question. When is an atom stable? When is an atom stable? Is it A, when it's in full outer orbit, when it has full outer orbit? B, when it has the same amount of electrons as protons? C, when it has no neutrons left? Or D, when it has an odd number of valence electrons? I'm be honest with you, I don't know what a valence electron is. I forgot about protons and neutrons and electrons and all of that stuff. So I have no idea. I can see the answer, but I would have gotten it wrong if I had guessed. I think I would have guessed. I'm going to probably say B, but I think it's not B. So correct answer is actually A, when it is full outer orbit. Let's see how many of you guys got this right. Several of you did. That's pretty good. Taylor got that right. Nathan, Katie. Look at you guys. Y'all are smart. I am 100% not smart by any means. I'm absolutely an idiot. So, yeah. Anyway, all right, let's go to the next one. Who was the 28th president of the United States of America? A little history question for you there. A little history question for you today. Who was the 28th president of the United States of America? Was it Calvin Coolidge, Woodrow Wilson, Herbert Hoover, which is not to be confused with the Hoover vacuum guy. It's a different guy. I learned that a long time ago. Or D, Teddy Roosevelt? What do you guys think the answer is here? I am going to say, I actually can't see the answer yet. I'm going to guess Teddy Roosevelt. I could be wrong, though. Yeah, look, I am. I'm wrong. No doubt. It's Woodrow Wilson. B, Woodrow Wilson. Is anyone 2 for 2? Tell me in the chat if you are 2 for 2, like really 2 for 2, and you said it, and you're 2 for 2, and we can confirm it, because some of you guys are absolute cheats. I know it for a fact, because I've played many games with you guys before, and I don't trust you. So, who is actually 2 for 2? I'd love to see that in the chat, but we're going to move on to the next question, which is this. What is the largest city in Canada? A little Canadian geography for you. I guess, well, maybe not geography. Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. The largest city in Canada, is it A, Vancouver, B, Calgary, C, Montreal, or D, Toronto? Lots of good sports in all of those cities. I am going to go with, I actually did know this one, and the correct answer is D, Toronto. Yes, it is D, Toronto. Let's see where we are. Who is 2 for 2? Nathan Simon's 2 for 2. Okay, I see you, Nathan. 2 for 2. There we go. Let's see what else we got. All right, next question. Here we go. 1 cup is equal to how many ounces? Is it 4? Is it 8? Is it 10? Is it 12? 4, 8, 10, or 12? 1 cup is how many ounces? I did actually know this one because since I became an adult, so pretty much after college, and I started like cooking a lot more, this was one I actually got to know because when you cook things, you need to sometimes know this, or you can just guess, which is actually what I really did for a while. But the answer is B. 8 ounces is 1 cup. 8 ounces is 1 cup, which it looks like a lot of you are probably getting that. That's not too bad. All right, here we go. This one's pretty easy. The words the, an, and a are known as what in English grammar? Are they adverbs? Are they pronouns? Are they clauses? Or are they articles? A, B, C, or D? I also appreciate the fact that adverbs is an A and clauses is an C, and it makes me a little paranoid that we don't have anything for B, like pronouns is in B, but I don't know if I can think of anything with the letter B that has to go with grammar. So, anyway, answer to this is D, articles. D, articles, correct answer. So that is 5 questions through. I want to get an update. Is anyone 5 for 5? Put it in the chat if you're 5 for 5. I would love to see it. We're going to get a little bit harder here in these next couple. Here we go. What is the capital of Finland? Is it A, Turku, B, Oulu? I'm sure I mispronounced that. C, Helsinki, or D, Tampere? I'm sure I mispronounced all of those, to be honest with you. So we're just going to go with A, B, C, or D. What is the answer here? Capital of Finland. I did know this one. It's Helsinki. C. Helsinki. See how you guys are with your Finnish geography. Who knows, you know? That one's probably not one that most of you take regularly in school. It's Finnish geography. A lot of you guys 5 for 5. Nathan, Sophia, okay? I see you guys out there 5 for 5. Here we go. Next question. We got a couple more left. What is the primary function of leaves? Primary function of leaves. Is it to provide shade and protection, to provide food for insects, to gather as much light as possible, or to get rid of excess water that enters through the roots? A, B, C, or D? The primary function of leaves, really at my house, is to be an annoyance and a nuisance to me in yard work. That's really what my answer is, but that was not on here. So, yeah, leaves are the worst. I hate them. But the correct answer here is actually C, to gather as much light as possible. We are still rolling. You guys are smart. I'm very impressed. Most of you are smart. Then some of you are trying hard. We'll leave it at that. All right, here we go. -10 plus -6 is, guys. This one's easy. If we miss this one, I do have questions for all of you. Like this is almost a freebie. -10 plus -6 is what? -4, -16, 4, or 16. Honestly, if you get this wrong, I'm going to need you to probably show your work and send me how you got to that answer. The answer is clearly -16 here. All right. Let's see. We have two more. We're going to move through these pretty quickly here. What is the complementary color of blue-green on the color wheel? What is the complementary color of blue-green on the color wheel? So here, for you art people, right here, this is your question. I have literally no idea. This would have been purely a guess on my end. Is it yellow-orange? Is it blue-violet, red-orange, or yellow-green? Like I said, honestly, I don't know. I would have probably guessed yellow orange, but that is not the answer. The answer is C, red orange. Who knew? Who knew? Not me. That's for sure. I did not know. All right, we are down to our final question. This is the 10th question. So here we go. What is the largest organ of the human body? Is it the liver, the lungs, the skin, or the intestines? The largest organ of the human body. I did know this one, even though I know very, very little about biology or science or anything like that. I actually did know the answer to this one. And that answer is C, skin. There you go. C, skin is the answer. Let's see it in the chat. I want to see the final results. I want to see what you guys got. If anyone got 10 right, that would be... And there might be some of you that did, because y'all are smart. There are some smarties in there. I saw that. You guys were getting after it there for a minute. So let's see. I'm watching the chat right now here as they're starting to roll in. Like I said, I'm a few minutes behind. So not a few minutes, but like a few seconds behind. Yes, Micah, skin is an organ. And I'm not even surprised that you didn't know that. But yes, it is. Zach Rins said 9 out of 10. Nathan Simon, 10 out of 10. Perfect score. Daniel Sig, you got 4. You tried hard, I'm sure. Daniel. It's tough, dude. I think I got 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. So 99% of you guys are smarter than me, but we all knew that anyway. A lot of you guys, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Nice. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Andrew. I'm with you. Who did use Google? That's what we need to know. Who cheated in there. So, well done, guys. Nice job. You guys are still, even though you're not in school, you're still trucking along learning things. I'm proud of you guys. You are smart. All right. Hey, like I said, we are in week 4 of our series called Storyteller. And so today we are talking about another parable in the Bible, and I'm really excited to be talking about that and really excited to jump into it. So check out this video real quick, and then I got a little bit of a word for you. Alrighty, we're jumping right into it. Like I said, this is week 4, final week of the Storyteller series. If you haven't been with us, this series has been talking about parables. If you don't know what a parable is, it's basically a story that Jesus would tell the people when he was typically teaching or preaching, and he would always, the point of parables is that they make a point. There is a reason that he tells them. Parables may not necessarily be based on something that actually happened. It could be something that Jesus has kind of come up with, but he's telling a story to people to basically tell a point or to make a point that he's trying to get across to them while teaching. And so we've been looking at a couple of parables. We're going to look at another one today. But before we do that, is anyone here, and I know a lot of you probably do, there are several of you here that are very musically gifted. I'm not one of those people, musically gifted. I'm, in fact, pretty bad when it comes to most of that stuff. But one of the things I've always wanted to do, and I don't even know if Colton knows this or not, so Colton, you'll find this out too as you're watching this. And I get super jealous of Colton because I watch Colton lead or play, specifically guitar. Like, the dude makes guitar look easy. Like, he just is strumming and it sounds great. And I'm like, dude, that's always been a dream of mine, is to play guitar. But here's the thing you don't realize if you've never played the guitar before. Guitar is way harder than it looks and sounds. Like, I see a lot of people play guitar and I'm like, dang, it's great, dude. Like, it's awesome. And I tried to teach myself to play guitar before, and I've failed miserably. I quit like 3 or 4 times. Actually, someone gave me a guitar for free to try to learn how to play, and I ended up quitting because honestly, my fingers are pretty fat, like they're little like sausage links. So I don't think I could hit very many chords or frets. So I gave up really quickly. But that's one of those things that I'm like, man, I would love to be able to learn how to do that. But it's one of those things that's way harder than it actually looks or sounds. And the thing we're talking about tonight kind of fits into that category of something that's way harder to do than it looks and it sounds. And it's forgiveness, which is simple. That's what we're talking about tonight. And it sounds easy, right? The whole idea of saying like, oh, hey, I forgive you. Like that's a super easy statement. And it sounds very easy to do. And here's the thing, like a lot of us, we understand the idea of forgiveness. I'm not going to sit here and spell it out for you because you know it. And most of us could go into small group right now. I could be like, hey, I'm done. Go to small group, talk about forgiveness. And you'd have tons of stuff to say about forgiveness. Like you would have, you know exactly what you need to say about forgiveness. And a lot of you could predict exactly what we would say about forgiveness in church. Because when we know, we know when someone hurts us, like we should forgive them. But we shouldn't hold a grudge. That's simple. That's pretty standard baseline Christianity. For the most part, if you're following Jesus, you know about forgiveness and what that is and what it means. But actually forgiving someone in real life, right? That's like me trying to play the guitar. It's not as easy until you actually have to do it, right? If I had to play the guitar, I would struggle. It would not be super easy. And see, forgiveness is easy until you have to do it. And see, here's the thing. Jesus even knew that we would struggle with this idea of forgiveness. He knew we would still struggle to do it, that we would know what it was and that we were supposed to do it, but he knew that it was going to be difficult for us to do. It was easy to understand, but difficult for us to carry out. And see, Jesus, he had to choose forgiveness just like we did. He did. He had to choose forgiveness just like we do. And here it brings us to a story, again, parable, that Jesus is telling. And I'm going to try to throw these up on the screen for you in just a second, hopefully, if it works. But a little context leading up to this story. Peter, right, who we all know, we've heard of Peter. If you've been around the church very long, you probably heard the name Peter, one of his 12 disciples. He was particularly close to Jesus. He's having a conversation with Jesus and asks him this question. Again, we're going to throw it on the screen. If you have your Bibles there, you can go to Matthew chapter 18. That's where we're going to live for a little bit. We're going to kind of jump around. There's a lot of verses, so I'm going to try to pop them on the screen, and we're going to kind of go back and forth here a little bit. But this is what Peter says to Jesus. He's asking the question. He says, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? Now, here's the thing. I'm going to stop real quick before we go any further. When he's saying up to 7 times, there's a reason that he says 7 specifically. He is also aware, Peter is aware of the fact that forgiveness is difficult. Like it's not super easy. And so he's basically saying, hey, 7 times, like that's a lot. Like if you understand the context of forgiveness within the Jewish law, under like the time period that Peter lived in, 7 times is like kind of going above and beyond forgiving someone. So what he's doing here when he's asking this question, to be honest with you, he's trying to like win a little brownie points, I think, with Jesus and kind of make himself appear spiritual and holy because he's like, well, like, hey, can I stop forgiving after 7 times? Like after I forgive someone 7 times, do I have to forgive them anymore beyond that? And so, yeah, like I said, Peter trying to prop himself up a little bit and talk about, hey, like, yeah, oh, I can forgive him 7 times, right? And then Jesus says this, he answers, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. Which you're like, whoa, hold on. Like, for real, Jesus wants this dude to forgive someone 77 times? And that's not exactly what he means. Like, this is not a literal, we should not take this verse literally. He's not saying that you had to forgive him 77 times. What he's saying is there's something bigger in mind that he wants to teach with this story, which is why he says what he says. And why he goes on here in a minute, because he wants to kind of grab Peter's attention. So he says, hey, 77 times. But then he keeps on going with what he says, and he jumps into his next piece of the story, which is this. He says, therefore, the kingdom of heaven is like a king who wanted to settle accounts with his servants. As he began the settlement, a man who owed him 10,000 bags of gold was brought to him. Since he was not able to pay, the master ordered that he and his wife and his children and they all be sold to repay the debt. At this time, the servant fell on his knees. before him. Be patient with me, he begged, and I will pay back everything. The servant's master took pity on him, canceled the debt, and let him go. Now, we're going to stop right here for just a second because this is huge. Like, this is just a big deal. So if you missed it there a second ago, he basically had this debt of basically 10,000 bags of gold, which in today's equivalent would probably be like $1 million. All right. So this is not like an easy little debt that you can just forgive and pay off real quick. This is big time. This is huge. So this debt gets forgiven completely. Think about that for a second. Like if you owed somebody basically like $1 million, like, and you didn't have the money to pay them back, and they wanted you arrested, and like you begged them not to be put in jail, and they were just like, hey, you know what? You're right. I'm not going to put you in jail. Your debt is forgiven. You're good. Like, how cool would that be? Like, what an incredible feeling for someone to get a break on the money like that they owe. Like you would expect this person to then be like, hey, like I'm on cloud nine. I'm going to go return this generosity. This is a life-changing event. But here's what happens is that's not quite the end of the story. Like that's not exactly what happens. And so it goes on to say this. Jesus is talking again here. And he says, but when the servant went out, he found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 silver coins. He grabbed him and began to choke him. Pay back what you owe me, he demanded. His servant fell to his knees and begged him, be patient with me, and I will pay it back. But he refused. Instead, he went off and had the man thrown into prison until he could pay his debt. All right, so we're going to hold just, again, a minute here. I want to explain. So we're making sure we're tracking all together. So obviously we thought this story would kind of go in a different direction. Dude gets forgiven, and then someone who actually owes him a debt, after he had been forgiven of his debt, someone owes him, and he doesn't show the same thing. Like he doesn't show the same forgiveness at all. And we think that we're like, oh, this should be easy at this point. My man just got like a $1 million debt forgiven, and he should easily show that same forgiveness to someone else. But like I said a few minutes ago, right? Just because we understand what should happen with forgiveness, it doesn't mean that it's easy for us. It's so much easier said than done, and we've experienced it all ourselves before. Jesus goes on here in a minute, and this is kind of how he closes his story. He says this: the other servants saw what had happened. They were outraged, went and told their master everything that had happened. And the master called the servant in, said, you wicked servant. He said, I canceled all that debt of yours because you begged me to. Shouldn't you have had mercy on your fellow servant just as I had on you? In anger, his master handed him over to the jailers to be tortured until he should pay back all that he owed. And this is crazy. Like, so this dude basically is thrown in jail, back in jail now, and now his debt basically has come back. And I mean that's crazy. Like this dude missed a huge opportunity to show forgiveness, and he ends up paying a huge price for that. And here's kind of how Jesus finishes this story with Peter when he's talking to him. He says, "This is how my heavenly Father will treat each of you, unless you forgive your brother or sister from your heart." Now, I don't want you to read this verse and be like, does that mean I'm going to go to jail and be tortured if I don't forgive people? No, that's not exactly true, because remember, this is a parable. Like Jesus is trying to make a point when he's telling this story. So you don't have to really worry about that as much. You're not going to go get tortured, hopefully, because of this. But I do think it's really important for us to remember, all right, that this dude, like he said, he could have easily chosen to go and forgive someone the same way he was forgiven. And here's what Jesus is kind of referring to when he's talking about this whole punishment and torture thing at the end. Again, it's not a physical action like you're sinning. He's going to send you to go be punished and tortured somewhere if you don't forgive people. But if you think about it like this, refusing to forgive people, it's kind of its own punishment or torture. Right? If you're being honest, I mean, think about this. Like if you need to forgive someone and they've kind of gone on with their life, right? They're not really thinking anymore about what they did. See, you hold on to an offense, you hold on to a grudge, and see what we end up doing is we imprison ourselves. We end up imprisoning ourselves. And so back to Peter's question, Jesus, how many times should I forgive? Is forgiving 7 times enough? Nope. See, if you're keeping track, it means you still won't let go. If you're keeping track of all the times you had to forgive someone, you're not letting go of it. So you've forgiven enough when you're no longer being tortured by the offense that was done to you. You've forgiven enough when you're free. See, but that's not all. See, the point of the story is also to shift the attention away from what was done to us and toward the things that we've done, the things that God has generously forgiven us for. And see, it's a lot easier to hold on to a grudge when we see us, like we see me, as the good guy. Like, oh, I'm right in the situation. I'm the good one, and it's so easier to hold on to a grudge when we do that. But see, here's the thing: is when our eyes are open to the fact that you and I were not perfect either, giving other people a break becomes a whole lot easier. When we sit in the fact and know that, hey, like, yo, we do mess up, we do screw up, and we're not perfect. And just to be clear on this, right? Jesus has forgiven us of a lot. Like, he's forgiven us of a lot. And if he can offer us forgiveness for every single thing that we've ever done and ever will do, and every sin that we've committed against him, then we can definitely pass that forgiveness on to others. And simply put, it's like this: forgive like you have been forgiven. Forgive like you have been forgiven. See, as long as we think we're better than someone else and what they've done to us, our forgiveness, it's going to be a tough thing to demonstrate. Like, it's going to be hard for us to do that. And as Jesus' story points out, like, it's all connected. Our ability to forgive others is directly tied to our willingness to receive forgiveness. And we can't expect forgiveness from others if we aren't willing to give it as well. There's just not really a better way to put it. Like, you can't expect people to forgive you for something if you're not willing to forgive people of what they've done to you. And see, for a lot of us in church, for Christ followers, a lot of us have to remind ourselves that we're not as perfect as we sometimes think we are, right? We're not. There's a lot of brokenness that we've caused ourselves. Our pride, it's an ugly obstacle for loving and forgiving other people. A huge one. I'll be the first to admit it. My pride is a huge problem for me when it comes to forgiveness. Our judgmental attitudes, right, they cut to the core. Our words, maybe toward our parents, they might surprise a lot of people. Our envy, our jealousy, it may not show itself on the outside, but inside, like, we know it's brewing. A storm is brewing on the inside. And see, we have this, like, pile of sin that Jesus is willing to forgive over and over and over and over again. And I don't tell you that to bring you down. I say that to kind of empower you to pass it along. Like, Jesus led the way in demonstrating what radical forgiveness looks like for us. And we've got to follow his lead. That's literally what it means to be a Christian, like following Christ, a Christ follower. Follow his lead. So follow what Jesus did when it came to forgiveness, which was forgive everyone and anyone. And see, that's kind of where I want us to land today. And maybe for some of you, you need to receive forgiveness for someone. And maybe you need to give forgiveness to someone. Whatever it is, but here's the thing: is freedom is found when you can give forgiveness and you can receive it. It's found when you can give and receive forgiveness freely. And like I said, don't forget, Jesus has forgiven you a lot. A lot. Now it's our turn to pass that along. And like I said, we know this is easy. Forgiveness itself is easy until you have to do it. A lot of times. And it's not just a one-time thing. And that's what's tough too, is like, there might be people in your life that are very close to you. Maybe your best friend, maybe a family member, and you find yourself having to forgive them multiple times. That's one thing I've learned in marriage, is that I've had to forgive Leah for things and she's had to forgive me for things. And here's the thing: is that hasn't been a one-time conversation for either of us. And that's how life works. Like, it just is. That's how life works. And I'm so thankful that I have found some of the ability to receive forgiveness and to give that, because it's been a huge piece of my life, and that's not something I've always been good at. Like, I have struggled with holding on to grudges in the past in my life. So I would encourage you guys, forgive like you've been forgiven. And figure that out, what that looks like for you. And I know that, like I said, we each might be at different spaces tonight. We might be in a different place. But I would encourage you. In just a second, I'm going to send it over to Colton. He's got a song for you. And maybe just for a couple minutes as he's singing. And maybe you're singing along at home. I don't know. The words will be on the screen, so you can't. But, man, just spend some time. I would encourage you to spend some time praying. And maybe just asking God to show you where this needs to take you tonight. Do you need to forgive somebody? You need to ask for forgiveness? I don't know. And maybe for some of you, maybe you just need to like understand and realize, hey, like it is hard. It is difficult. But I'm telling you, freedom is found when you can give forgiveness and you can receive it. And we are called to forgive like we have been forgiven. So if you don't remember anything else from tonight, remember that God loves you, that God has forgiven you, that He's going to continue to do that. And that's who we're called to be, is people who willingly give forgiveness all over the place. So hey, like I said, I'm going to throw it over to Colton real quick. So you guys check this out, worship along with him, and then I'm going to come back, wrap it up, and we're going to send you guys off to small groups.
I can't go back to the beginning. I can't control what tomorrow will bring. But I know here in the middle is the place where you promised to be. I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again? And as I walk now through the valley, let your love rise above every fear. Like the sun shaping the shadows, in my weakness your glory appears. Oh Jesus, I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again? Oh Jesus, I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here? Oh Jesus, thank you, Lord. Oh, we thank you. 'Cause not for a minute was I forsaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is in this place. Come, Holy Spirit, dry bones awaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is minute was I forsaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is in this place. Come, Holy Spirit, dry bones awaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is in this place. 'Cause I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again?
Man, I love that song because I think it applies to this conversation to forgiveness. Like, I'm not enough unless Jesus, like you come, and the same thing happens with forgiveness. Like, we are not enough. It's not really enough for us to forgive, right? And we've got to have help from the Lord on that one sometimes, and we're not able to forgive unless we've been forgiven ourselves. And so, it all kind of comes back to Jesus, and I love that. So thanks, Colton, for leading us on that. I'm glad it worked out this time for us to be able to do some worship. Hopefully we'll be able to continue to do that as we move forward. So, hey, in just a couple minutes, we're going to send you guys off to small groups. Before we do that real quick, I did want to let you know something really fast. This will be a fun little thing for you guys. We started this last week with middle school. We're going to do it with you guys as well, too. This is called the Quarantine Challenge. And so what we want you to do is we want to see your best quarantine dance moves appropriate. All right, I'm looking at you, senior guys. So I'm actually not looking at you because I can't see you, but I'm specifically referring to you because I've seen most of you dance. So here's the nice part is I get to edit these videos before we play them. So if it's ridiculous, I can just edit you out. So, but Quarantine Challenge, we want to see your best dance moves. We're going to create a dance video compilation and air that hopefully in 2 weeks when we meet again. And here's the thing, if you send us in a video, we're going to put your name in a drawing to get a gift card. It's simple. You don't even have to be dancing well. Like, just dance. That's all you have to do. And we'll draw your name live on camera here. And then, yeah, you might be able to win a prize. Who knows? So, Quarantine Challenge, you can email us the videos right there, cpstudentsvideo@gmail.com. I think Colton's going to post that in the chat as well. So, yeah, send us your videos. We would love to see your best quarantine dance moves. So, yeah, speaking of that, like I said, 2 weeks from now is when we are meeting next. Next week we'll not meet because we have Easter. So, the thing we have next week, like I said, for Easter is we have something called the Easter Jam, which is actually something you can do with your entire family. And I would encourage you guys to do it. We encourage middle school to do that as well. It'll basically be a video posted on the Centerpoint Live YouTube page on Friday. You can watch it Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It's kind of a little interactive experience. It's not too long, 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes, something like that. Play a couple games with your family, which could be a lot of fun. And there's a quick little message and a worship song. So honestly, it's going to be a cool thing just for you guys to do together as a family. And so I would encourage you guys to do that with your parents and maybe your brother, sister, grandma, grandpa, whoever, at some point this next coming weekend. And then obviously we want you to be a part of the main Centerpoint Live YouTube page for Sunday morning services for Easter. It's going to be awesome and want you guys to be a part of that. And obviously, like I said, we will not be here next Sunday night. So 2 weeks from now, we'll be back here online and live. Send us those Quarantine Challenge videos. We would love to have them. But hey, thank you guys so much for hanging with us tonight. I really appreciate it. I hope the stream worked out better tonight than it has in the past. Thanks again so much for hanging out with us. Hit the like and subscribe button. If you haven't yet, please do that. This is an easy thing to share with your friends too, as man, they don't have to even show up or get in a car and go to church. They can just watch online with you. And so what an easy way to do that. I would encourage you guys, share this in 2 weeks when we're back with your friends so they can join, be a part, invite them to your small group. We would love to have them. So, hey, we'll see you guys in just a couple of weeks. You guys have a great week this week. Happy Easter. Love you guys. And we'll leave the chat open for just a couple minutes. But other than that, you guys can go off to small groups. See you later. Peace.